Adil, welcome back to the University of Huddersfield. How does it feel to be back here?
Oh, it's amazing. It's great. It's all changed. It used to be all fields when I was here. No, it's a real honour to be here.
Yeah, and how does it feel receiving an honorary doctorate? What does it mean to you?
Oh, God, it means the absolute world to me. I think back to 1992 when I came to university. I actually went through clearing. It was touch and go in those days whether I was going to get a place at university. I had such tremendous support from my family. Said no, you should still go, give it a go. And as a kid from Birmingham to come to Yorkshire for the first time, to Huddersfield, it was a small town compared to a big city like Birmingham, and it was a challenge. It was a real challenge, and not easy at times for me, and quite hard. So to come back to get the degree, it was just a real achievement. I mean, to go home and with a 2-1 was incredible. To come back now to get an honorary doctorate, it's quite mind-blowing, really. It's lovely. I feel very proud and very honoured and very grateful.
And is there anything from your time here as a student that you feel really helped you in your subsequent career?
Yeah, I think for me, the region as a whole, really. I think Yorkshire, for me, I felt very quickly at home here. I felt that I could be expressive, be creative around here, and I felt really supported, and I made lots of friends, and it was just an amazing time, really. I think I learned very quickly the whole thing about university life, and anybody who comes to university, you have a sort of a set timetable, and that's given to you, 15 hours a week of your lectures. It's what you do the rest of the time is really important, and I think I spent the first year probably doing too much of partying and whatever, but quickly learnt that actually I could do something really interesting in that time that I've got, and I started DJing at the student union and in town, and that progressed my career. So I think for me it realised that it's not just a time for your academic lectures, it's a real time to define your life, really, in many ways, and a time to really try things and really be expressive and try things that you may not get a chance to do again.
And your career since has been very, very eclectic. It's ranged from the very funny to the very serious.
Yeah, which bit are you calling funny? Which bit are you calling serious?
We'll talk about that later.
Citizen Khan wasn't a documentary. Okay?
But was there anybody when you were growing up, or even when you were here as a student, that you looked at, sort of in the public eye, that had such a wide-ranging kind of career that you've kind of taken inspiration from? Well,
I know this is going to sound a little bit ridiculous, but I kind of grew up thinking that, if I saw somebody who was a comedian, I go, well, I'd like to do that. If I saw somebody who's doing a documentary, I want to try to do that. For me, I do feel like it's very much in the similar stuff that I do, whether it's doing a documentary on racism or doing a sitcom with Citizen Khan or being on GMB. Even Lingo, I feel like I'm telling a story. I think I'm storytelling, being myself, representing the community sometimes in everything I do. I think I always feel that. But really, I think that I feel that why not? Why not? If you want to become a footballer, then try to learn to be a footballer. If you want to be a scientist, then put your head down and get on with it. If you want to be an architect, then do whatever you want. And then next month, if you decide you want to do something, then do that as well. I mean, I think just keep your eyes and ears open and go for it and really live your dreams. I think it's really important.
If there's one piece of advice you could give to any of our students who are graduating this year, what would you say to them?
Yeah, I would say that if you think back when you were 10, 11, 12 years old and somebody said to you that you're going to graduate from university and get a degree, you probably would like to. Yeah, I'd like to. That's a nice idea, mate. Well, I don't know how that's going to happen. That's for somebody else. That's not for me. Well, take stock of the current situation and realise that is you. You're one of very privileged people who get the opportunity to get a degree, and you've worked damn hard to get it. And at one point that was your dream, and you've made that dream reality. So now, what does that teach you, really? To keep on dreaming. Keep on dreaming and keep those dreams big, and be honest to yourself and do exactly what you did to get your degree, which is you worked hard. You worked hard at it, you were honest to yourself, and you never stopped going, even when you maybe got a bad mark in something or you failed one of your subjects, you picked yourself up, you kept going, and you got there in the end. And you applied that method to almost anything in life. And I believe there's only one outcome. There really is. If you keep going, there's only one outcome, and that's it. Your dreams will become true.